The online sellers of e-bikes take quite a hit in terms of customer service. If you read the comments in a lot of the Facebook groups and forums, I'm a member of a lot of those, so I get a lot of them. And then also I get comments on my videos, and people want to know what is the best company with the customer service experience out there. Now, my experience has been with two different companies. I think these two companies are probably some of the top online sellers of e-bikes. One of them is Juice Bikes, the other one is Rad Power Bikes. When I ordered my Rip Current S from Juice Bikes, I can tell you they shipped it right away. I was impressed because it was the Thanksgiving holiday. There was a sale going on. It was in stock, shipped out I think that Monday, but it only took about 4 or 5 days to get here from California to Illinois, but the bike was the wrong color. So by the time I got that situated with Juice Bikes and I refused the shipment, it got sent back. But in the meantime, their inventory had got sucked up, so there was none of the brushed aluminum that I had ordered left in stock. So literally it took me about a month from the time I first ordered to the time I received the correct color bike. Was that a challenge? I guess it was a challenge. What I care about most is how they deal with that, and I thought they dealt with it well, and they did what they could under the circumstances, and I was okay with that. When I ordered the bike from Rad Power Bikes, my wife's Rad Mini, the bike was in stock. It shipped out on a Monday, and I got the tracking information, tracked it. It kind of got held up in Las Vegas for whatever reason, and then it just sort of disappeared in Utah. I'm in Illinois. So I called Rad, and they said, yeah, the bike was delivered, it was signed for. And I said, well, that wasn't by me. It took them a couple days to straighten that out, and turns out that they had delivered it to an address in Utah, and Rad Power Bikes didn't even know where it went. So they shipped out another bike, and so all in all, probably took about 2 weeks to get the bike in from there. Again, quite a challenge, but it was how they handled it, and they handled it the best they could. But then I've got a buddy who runs a YouTube channel called Adventure Outdoors, and Steve has purchased 2 electric bikes, the folding bikes, from the electric bike company, and had outstanding service in both instances. So at the end of this video, you're going to see the card that'll show his playlist on how he's customized his bike for his use. The issue with e-bike companies right now, I believe, is the crazy growth. The customer service experience that everybody expects after they plop down $1,000, $2,000 plus dollars, they expect to be treated like they spent that kind of money. When in fact, it doesn't really come across like that when the customer service reps, either they don't get back to you, this and that. It's because they're overwhelmed. And these small companies most of them are startups, and they're trying to ramp up, and they don't have the experience in doing that. And so as they try to ramp up and scale to the size of the business, which has been complicated by the COVID crisis because their inventories have been sucked up. Everybody's getting it with buying e-bikes with stimulus money, and so it's wiped them out of inventory. But then also the supply chain, because most of these bikes are made in China, that's been challenged as well. So you'll notice that a lot of the accessories are out of stock. Now a lot of the bikes are out of stock. The wait times are up. It's just kind of crazy. Trying to run a company amongst all of those disruptors is pretty challenging. I'm not making excuses for them. I don't think that's the right kind of customer service, but I know they're not going to stop selling the bikes until they get their customer service up to speed. They're going to sell the bikes now and hope that customer service experience grows and becomes more acceptable as time goes on. One other challenge they have is, and that is the R&D, the research and development, the speed at which this technology is moving in e-bikes and keeping up with accessories. You know, when we bought our Rad Mini, it was the first or second generation. Now they're up to the 5th generation of their bikes, and that's in the course of a year and a half, 2 years. So it's just kind of crazy to see how this technology has gone so quickly. So if I'm a customer from a year ago and I still feel like maybe I should be treated as though I'm special because I did drop a couple grand with you, they're past that. They've detached and they moved on, and now they're dealing with a historic customer but not a contemporary customer. And I think that's got a lot to do with it, right or wrong. In the comments in the forums, you'll see a lot of people, they'll ask, again, what is the best customer service experience? What company should I go with? A couple things. If you get nervous about dropping a grand or two on a bike and unseen, you haven't ridden it, and you're going to ship this off to the company and get an 80 to 100 pound box in the mail, if that makes you nervous, there's a couple things you can do to sort of alleviate that anxiety. What we did was, I was going on a trip out to California with my wife, and I looked online for Rad Power Bikes. I knew there was nothing in the Midwest that was available to test ride. But out there, on the Rad Power Bike site, they have a map that shows all the areas where you can rent. They have a rental fleet. And so out in California, about an hour, 15 minutes away, there was a place in Borrego Springs, and I'm going to link that first video that I made about that very first ride that we took up above. But we went out there and tested out the bikes, and I assumed that the technology was going to be similar amongst the different companies. I was just at the time riding a Rad Power Bike, one of the Rovers. Thought it was fantastic. It made me feel comfortable enough to go ahead and plop down that money on that brand and another brand that I had never ridden before, and sort of take my chances, take sort of a leap of faith, let's call it. One other thing you can do is hit up your local bike shop. Our local shop in Pekin, Illinois, they sell Specialized bikes. They sell some others, but Specialized is a big brand for them. And Specialized is now in the e-bike category. So I've seen a e-bike in there. I think there's other companies or other bike companies that are getting these in that are the same brand as the traditional line that they carry, and so they feel more at ease. If I take my Juice Bikes Rip Current S in there, are they going to know what to do with it? Sure, it's a bike, but they're unfamiliar with the quality of the bike. They don't want to damage it. They don't want to be liable for anything. So they'll help me out with a few of the simple things, like let's say a chain or whatnot, but they're probably not going to overhaul the whole bike. However, if it's a Specialized bike, they're a Specialized dealer, and it's an e-bike, they're going to take care of the whole thing. But regardless, you could go in there, purchase one, or just test ride one at your local bike shop, and that would be another way to alleviate the anxiety that you might have over plopping down that kind of money. I would be interested to hear your stories about your customer service experience. Whether it's a horror story or it's a great story, it would be interesting to see in the YouTube video comments if there's any themes in terms of one company is consistently poor, one company is consistently great, and sort of see where that falls. So if you would, leave comments below and let me know about your experiences. And once again, if you found this video interesting or informative, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.